us be better because they know the opponents are not human at all.
Yeah.
Both of them.
And now, before we see them fight, we're gonna see a draft battle between the Architect, the Sunday Night Messiah, Coach Aldo, and Raja Yeba.
Again, we got to talk about the history between both these coaches, man. They used to work together in Onyx. During MSC, Aldo was not there.
Yeah.
It was Coach Yep and Adi. But during that time, Coach Aldo has been training Bigatron Alpha. And we've seen the result of it, going to the grand finals. This is, for me personally, if Bigatron Alpha wins this, in a way, it's revenge for Coach Aldo, saying that I can go on any team and they'll be amazing.
That's why it's kind of proof match for Coach Aldo itself. But if you look at the draft right now, that Cloud has been first picked by the Bigatron.
Yeah. Wow. And now they're going to have a carry on their hands already, taking it away from CW. And as expected, ONIC will pick up the Valentina and priority on the Kaja for Kiboy for the pickoffs. At the same time, we know how well Kaja can buffer the early game attempts of your opponent to invade. It's not necessarily an anti-invade hero, but it helps with mediating that and controlling it.
Yeah, it can initiate, it can counter setup, depends on the situation. But we didn't see Finn using the the Kibo using the Kaja before because AP Brand kept banning the Kaja yesterday.
And now Moreno picking up the Eve. It was my question whether they want the partial or the Eve here. The Eve is better control, so it looks like having the Fredrin now, it's still a very flex pick. So far, it does seem like it's going over to Super 10 and a very quick pickup on the 1-1. So both already showing their mid laners as well as their gold laners. The Kaja is going over to the roam. Fredrin is still a question. So now Onyx, what are they looking to ban?
Yeah, they are probably going to be looking into banning out the roamers potentially available for Supervin because there are some picks shared there with Chorizo in terms of being able to flex it. We're looking at specifically the Grok, and they do ban out the Grok. So BTR this time, they might even consider banning out either the Baksha, the Martis, or Assassins because they have an Eve on their hands. Again, when you have a stationary hero like Eve, you want to take out the high mobile Assassins.
But they still have Hellcurt option, but we didn't see any Hellcurt on this playoff stage, I think, until today.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing one Hellcurt game, but it just didn't go out, so I just can't remember the specific match.
There is a Hellcurt. So far, Onyx, would it be wise to actually ban out the Franco?
Taking away from Supervin? Oh, definitely. But at the same time, if ever ONIC do give it, that means they'll have access to 2 suppress abilities if ever Sans wants to get the ultimate of the Franco, so they're not banning it. But there's a chance Supervin might actually take it in the roam, and it's going to be a suppression battle.
Do they want a Uranus here? That's why they're betting on the Tyro?
That is a possibility, yeah.
That's a possibility because the Boots love to using the Uranus. He's just loving to proxy the minute until the enemy's base, at least giving his teammates best time to do the farming or even aiming for the objective like turrets.
Yeah, and at the same time though, if ONIC do pick up a Uranus on their side for Boots, Bigatron Alpha already have the tools that can help contend with it a little bit. One of the things Uranus doesn't like going up against is just a marksman that can free hit and have fast basic attacks. Burst magic damage as well. BTR sort of has that with an Eve, so this Uranus pickup, if ever, will be a difficult one to get. And you see there the box picked up, but no. Yeah, Onyx says we still want it. We still want to go for it.
Yeah, because again, like, we gotta look at how Boots plays, man, because the way that he plays, he almost likes to isolate the EXP laner. And if he's really having a very good time, not just the EXP laner, he will make sure that he's isolating maybe perhaps the gold laner as well, maybe even the mid. Even if he dies, he grabs like what, 3 people worth of attention?
Yeah.
His entire team will just wreck the entire team fight and then get a wipeout. So I kind of feel like even though there are ways to deal with the Uranus, if they choose to deal with the Uranus, they're kind of playing into the strategy of Coach Yep. So I kind of feel like it's definitely worth it.
Because Chorizo and Boots have different playstyle. But we see Alice and Florin here, so it's gonna be Alice jungler from the Super Can.
Yeah, wow, look at Bigatron. Still, up until now, they do not fail to surprise us. And that's why they banned out the Baksha. ONIC now I want to see them with a tanky, high-control jungler because that's what they're lacking. They have tanky. They need just a little bit more of control.
Dude, the innovation, man. I kind of want to see it go on, but
Wow.
we see the Hayabusa. But again, this is not any normal Hayabusa. This is Kyrie's Hayabusa. Looking at the draft, I like the creativity coming in from Bigatron Alpha, but I gotta ask the casters, do you guys like the draft?
A draft battle between Raja Yeba and the Architect. Who would believe that just about 6 months ago they were playing for the same team and now they're fighting for the championship here?
And you can really feel the collision and the different perspectives, the different minds here just clashing in between. Back when they were working together at M4, now that both have been given creative freedom, we are seeing the best of both worlds. For Onyx, stable, controlled environment. For Aldo and Bigatron Alpha, it's more of a chaotic experiment by the Architect.
Welcome to the desk. At your service, my name is Leo here with Miracle. We'll be calling this best of 7 to crown our Snapdragon Pro Series Season 3 MLBB champion here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Here's what we think is going to happen in the predictions, and someone is a little too brave. That's I gotta call you out, man. Not a single one for Onyx.
I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, I'll be honest with you, but every prediction so far for Bigatron Alpha, right after they got knocked down to the lower brackets for me, has been correct down to the score.
They've beaten the odds.
Every time.
And the universe denies you the opportunity to kaldag.
No, they just, no.
Exactly. So who's to say that tonight it still won't happen and the Terminators will continue their reign? Starts here, game number 1. And something to note, before we closed up the draft and waited to load into the Land of Dawn, you said you didn't feel the Hayabusa.
No, I don't like it, right? I mean, I can understand why they picked it. It's Kyrie on a Hayabusa, a signature pick that we saw him on at M4. He was able to perform then, and now, in front of this crowd at Istora Senayan, I don't think it's going to work as well as it did before.
With thousands in attendance, Bigot Troopers, Sonics, and all. Welcome to game number 1. This here is Bigatron Alpha versus Onyx. And we see Superken starting on the purple, and it's likewise for Kyrie.
Let's see here, Super Ken on this Alice. Let's talk a little bit about this because we have seen it before in Season 11. Super Ken, when he joined the MPL, one of the pocket picks that we were able to see from him was not just the Alice, but the Hanzo as well. He was utilizing these crazy picks, and he was making it work. Thing is, in Season 11, every single time he tried to utilize this exact strat up against Onyx, they always crumbled.
Maybe this time, a minute in, and you see these two roamers, Keyboy and Supervin, just playing footsies, dealing damage to each other, amounting to not much, as Supercan continues to farm. Real quick, a check on our emblems, and again, the sustainability coming in from BTR. Oh, Kyrie underneath!
Shadow kill coming down, first blood for Kyrie. 1 minute in, Onyx already pushing the pace, utilizing the Hayabusa. This is what they want to do, but Super Ken on the other side, getting Keyboy low, trying to invade in the jungle.
Interesting. In mid, Onyx is looking to up their tempo, looking at the snowball, but down bottom, it looks like Super Ken has a plan of his own, stealing away a small camp from Kyrie. 20 seconds up until this turtle comes up. Let's talk about the XP lane matchup, though. What's this like between a Uranus and a Fredrin?
More like a non-lane. So Rizzo's not really going to look for these trades. He understands that, you know, the Uranus is just going to constantly clear the waves, and even if he does try to force it, it's not really much he can do. I don't think he can get boots lower, even threaten a kill. Kyrie, no purple buff this time, but Super Ken as well. I think Super Ken might be a bit more reliant on that purple buff than Kyrie on the Haya.
At this point, yeah. Especially as we ramp up into the mid-game, but now first turtle up already. Keyboy spots 2. Oh, Super Ken not going to be able to contest. Kyrie scores.
Retribution, Onyx with the first kill and the first neutral objective. Bigatron Alpha have been placed into a spot where they will have to try to weather the storm. And I think that might just be the case for Bigatron Alpha. They understand how much early to mid-game power Onyx composition has, especially their trio mid. They're going to be able to rotate more efficiently, and overall, they're going to have a better time. So So Bigatron Alpha are just banking on that later stage. Mid to late is when they can actually strike.
Which is counterintuitive to how these two teams have been playing so far, but way Super Ken spots one. Not enough damage quite yet. He has the back, RWM.
Oh, they're gonna go in! Divine Judgment bringing it back! Super Ken getting the healing right now. He's gonna be able to sustain Keyboy.
Whoa!
Caught it to sustain. Super Ken equalizes for the Terminators.
All thanks to that common emblem, and as well the build he's used. You can see here that he actually has the do on him, and he was unpunished. Onyx seems to have miscalculated the amount of damage and aggression they can put on a single hero in that mid lane engagement. So with that, I'd say even if Onyx does have a 700 gold lead, even if they do have Turtle, this early game isn't as quite a big dub for them. Bigatron Alpha, I'm loving it. If they want to make it to the late game, this is definitely the way you want to go.
Oh, big mistake by Socken there, jumping with the BMI, but now Kyrie, oh, what? Socken with a juke now, Blazing Duet. I still think he's gonna die here with a shadow kill placed onto him. A good juke delaying the inevitable, but it still happens.
It took him a second or two longer to go down, but Onyx still got their prey. And now 1,000 gold ahead. Let's see how much more pressure they can apply on the map, how much more they can deny Bigatron Alpha, the late game scaling that they so badly need. More now at the 4-minute mark than ever in this game one. Bigatron Alpha are crossing the river, and they're looking to posture up for this turtle, but it's not going to be for free. Down bottom.
They're looking for a dive here. Oh, good escape away from the real world manipulation, but Keyboy still wants to dive right now. Socken waiting on the BMI, perfectly timed now, jumps back. Weak side, but Socken says it's all good. 3-man gank, this should give over. Super Ken, a free turtle up top.
Oh, Vin's very low. Boots wants something. Putting some stacks on. He needs one more. There's the heal.
The Bloom coming in clutch for Super Vin, getting him back to an HP bar that is not there. That can be risked. Boots not able to kill him.
Master mechanics, not just in that engagement up top, but even down bottom for Bigatron Alpha. Socken using to its maximum potential the damage reduction underneath that gold shield on his turret. 25%, folks, that's huge, especially when you're looking at, what, quarter built items on early game heroes. Now Keyboy gets spotted.
Oh, Divine Judgment and the Shadow Kill used up onto Super Vin. Now it's Ken and Moreno forced back out of their own jungle. And Kyrie, despite it only being a 2,000 gold lead, he is up 2 levels earlier. Now Super Ken finally getting back in. Socken forced back Kyrie. Oh, the Shuriken's here! Socken pops into Blazing Duet, has that Brave Smite, keeps him alive.
Just barely though. And here you see Onyx are limit testing. They're seeing how much they can get away with and how much pressure they can put on to Socken. And here up top, we see again the non-battle, the non-lane between these two just hunks of meat, Chorizo and Boots. Down bottom, the first turret goes down. Onyx scoring, again shrinking the space that Socken can take farm from.
And this is going to be a very, very good position that Onyx can utilize to further capitalize, to further take their lead in towards the mid-game. Neutral objective control will still be on their side with Socken falling so far behind. Taking a look at the gold lead, yep, almost 1,000 between the gold laners. And for CW, remember, 1,000 gold lead normally would already be big. On a 1-1, it's even bigger because CW has not built any defensive items, hasn't built boots at all. It is full damage.
And he's greeting out. And he has all the right in the world to do so. You're looking at Socken, who only has, again, Warrior Boots and Demon Hunter Sword. Against 1-1, not going to lead to much. Here we see last turtle of the game up. Keyboy with a conceal.
Retribution battle. It's going to be Super Ken who wins it right now. Chorizo taunts them up in the back. Boots also doing the same thing. Socken with the Blazing Duet, unable to kill anyone down. Boots just acting as a distraction. CW looking for all the weakness points, but Chorizo flickers out to safety. CW pops in to Inspire, but gets chunked down. And Bigatron Alpha, they go back. Appraiser's Wrath coming down on Boots, but again, it's only onto Boots.
CW Airlines fails to take off. One-way trip to game 1 victory delayed. And with that, it's another gauge of how much Onyx can put on a Bigatron Alpha until Bigatron Alpha is ready. And this is what Onyx should be doing. This is their key to victory. Because if we go past the 12, 15-minute mark and Bigatron Alpha haven't been buried underneath the ground, buried in value, buried in economy, then it's over. Bigatron Alpha will take over the game. Looking at the item build so far, Super Ken is looking great, man. He's on his way to a dominance ice, COD. He's almost unkillable at this point.
And once he gets unkillable, that's when ONIC will really struggle. Even with their pickoff comp, remember, the Bloom will deny, will take every single anti-regen effect that ONIC has away from them. Right now, we're already seeing 2 Dominance Ices built up, but remember, the Bloom takes it all away.
And with that, Bigatron Alpha are moving around. It's like the tier 1 down bottom hasn't even been taken. Tier 1 up top 2. They sent CW to once more shrink the real estate that BTR can play with. ONIC, 3,000 gold ahead. CW and Kyrie up on top of the leaderboards with Sakin just marching up forward. It's not as slow a farm. He only has really died once. So that's not good, but it's okay, especially now looking at 8 minutes, 30 seconds in. He's on his way to his next core item. Sorija just built himself a Radiant Armor. Against CW, not going to do much, but at least against Sans, against Kibo, against Boots specifically, he's okay. So at least they have that one lane that they can just hunker down.
Oh, Flicker Divine Judgment, bringing Supervin back, and that should be, yeah, a crossbow attack with the Inspire used up. Supervin falls, now on the Super Can, who's still on the Rumble Bomb, the Blazing, who went up to the back line with Socket, and the real world manipulation. Not enough though, it's still ONIC.
There we go, the bonk from Surizo, a little too late. Now it's Boots just holding his ground, making sure no stragglers push on forward. Sans ain't done. Looking at the damage output, it's clear that Sans and Kyrie, and even CW, even if his crossbow Tang just came up and flew, take to the skies just for a second or 2 longer, there's great damage coverage, and with that, ONIC just convert like in a snap.
Absolutely beautiful from ONIC, understanding their limits. You mentioned earlier they were testing it. Now they understand their limits. They're utilizing it now to completely punish Bigatron Alpha, capitalizing in this moment. As Moreno, let's take a look at his item as well as Sakin. Sakin finally building up the golden staff. That is a power spike, but it's not going to be a big one. Look at CW already on the way to that Wind of Nature, trying to neutralize the BTR power spike.
Kyrie just picked up the Heptases. So if prior the engagements came up short, all the more now. I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up a Sea Halberd. Now Boots in trouble.
Still gets out. It's that ONIC buff, man. They're just unkillable. And they're utilizing it here in this game to pick turrets off the board. Boots just acting as the distraction as CW acts as the assassin.
And as soon as he takes to the skies, which with the help of that Wind of Nature, again, it's gonna keep him immune for just a little more to proc those weakness finders, and of course his weakness marks. It'll be all the more trouble for Bigatron Alpha. ONIC pushing their lead, coming in through mid. Top lane's gonna crash on down as well. 10 minutes and a half in. This is a very, very massive 7K gold lead, and finally they take care of the Lord.
Oh, Kyrie jumping in, looking for the shadow kill, but he will just hold on to it. Lord cleared up top by Sakin and Super Ken, as Bigatron Alpha are still able to defend. But ONIC, remember the gold lead, it's still building up. It is quite big now with a 2.72K Lord advantage at their hands. It basically forced Bigatron Alpha in their base. Now they're forced to just turtle and farm in their base.
Oh God, look at Birthday Boy. Look at Sans here. In some parts of the world, you could argue it's still his birthday.
Yeah.
So the buff is still active, and he is playing this Valentina to a T. The burst is there, the acquisition of ults on point 2, and that's what bought here ONIC this huge lead. Approaching this Lord, 45 seconds in. Where else can Bigatron Alpha find value? You said that they're going to turtle up, you said that they're going to try to stay in. When ONIC starts to freeze, there are no stacks for Super Ken to get.
Not at all, and that's why it's just so brilliant from ONIC. They understand that if you want to go for a composition like this that tries to weather out the storm, if the storm is too massive, if it was just literally a natural disaster that just takes you out, there's not much you can do against it.
A force of nature, an act of God. And that is but what ONIC is bringing. So these are spotted. Of course, ONIC not going to oblige. Oh, RWM!
Oh, CW still able to fly right now. Gets out. He's fire popped in. Super Ken caught in the bad situation. The Bloom is able to help him out, but not for long. As Kyrie disintegrates the back line. Now the shadow kill. Been able to flicker out, but Super Ken's down. So Rizzo surviving barely.
ONIC happy with what they got. A pick up on a key hero. Super Ken could not do anything with the suppress laid on him by Keyboy. And now Onyx are going to convert straight into this Luminous Lord.
They've enhanced 12 minutes in. And now with the Starlium, wow, Sans,
Whoa.
Starlium Scythe. You can see the confidence here from Sans. He's been recalling non-stop, and Keyboy's following through as well. It's the Sans and Keyboy recall special.
It's a deadly duo. They not only wreck you and ruin you in game, but also your mental. You can only imagine what Bigatron Alpha is going through right now. They can't even leave their base, and they have to plan for the defense of a lifetime. Luckily, they have great high ground defense, but how far can that take you? Lord, crash it in the mid.
That's the base turret taken down. Bottom lane also coming down as CW is able to do quick work. Or, whoa, Kyrie with a shadow kill. Only onto the minions right now. So Superken's going to be able to jump into the back. But Sakin gets bursted down. Now the crossbow attack, and he's fired. They're going to crunch in his spot. Placed in time, but he will fall. 13 minutes in. And Onyx will wipe BTR down to their last